Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel on Advanced Excel. In today's video, we are going to see this filter function. Now this filter function is available in Office 365. So let's start. This is the syntax of filter function. The filter function wants array, then include, and there is last argument called if empty. Now this array is a range of cells that contains the values to be filtered, and it is the range of cells containing the result of the filter function. Then this include argument, it is a logical test that is applied to the given array. This argument gives trues and false for selected arrays. And if empty argument is an optional argument. This can be used if the array does not return any values. Now imagine this filter function like a conditional lookup function which filters multiple records satisfying specific conditions. So with this background, let's see the example. So this is a small database of employees. Now suppose if we want a list of employees working in sales team or a sales department, then in old school we do something like this. We select the data, then we press Alt D F for filter, and we filter sales department, sales, enter, and then we select this list of employees, press Alt semicolon to select the cells which are visible, Control C, and we paste it. Okay, and again Alt D F to release the filters. Now this is how we should do, or we do in the old environment of Excel. But remember, this filter function, it does all of this but in a formula manner. So I am just deleting this. So let's start with the example. Now first example I am going to show is array with one column. So we'll stick to this sales department example. Now we want a list of employee names, only employee names which are working in sales department. So I'll start with filter, tab. Now my array is employee name because I only want employee names, and in include, the condition is how many of you are equal to sales. Now this sales which I have written, it is not capitalized, or it's not in the capital, and it is a non-case sensitive formula. So you can simply type sales in uppercase or lowercase, does not matter, and enter. So this is a list of employee names which are working in sales team. Okay, so this is example of one column array. Now what if we want all details of these employees? So I'll delete this. Again I'll say filter, tab. My array is this entire database of employees, comma, and include, again same, how many of you are equal to sales, into inverted commas. Because it is not non-case sensitive, I am simply giving it in uppercase and enter, and here you have. So this is a list of employees which are working in sales team. Okay, so in array you can either use one column or all columns. Now let us see that we can do a filter function based on a partial data also. So is equal to filter, tab. Now suppose I want employees working in admin. Okay, so my array right now I am including only these 4 rows, which is a partial data, and comma, include in include argument. This is my include argument, and how many of you are equal to admin. I'll complete parenthesis and enter. So here it is. So you can have an array which consists of only one column, or you can have array of all the columns in a database, or you can have a partial data also. Okay, so this example is over. Now the beauty about this filter function is it can take care of AND conditions and OR conditions also. So let's take an example of AND condition. So I am just giving here a date, 1st April 22, and date June 22. Now we want to list out employees who have joined between these two dates. So I start with filter. Now my array is this entire database. Okay, and because we want to perform AND condition into bracket, this is my first condition, say how many of you are greater than or equal to this 1st April 22. I'll close the bracket for this first condition, and because it's AND condition, we all are aware for AND we have to use asterisk or a multiplication sign to tell Excel that we are dealing with AND condition, and into bracket once again my include column is same, and how many of you are less than or equal to 30th June 22. I'll close parenthesis for the second condition, and now I am closing parenthesis for filter and enter. So these are the list of employees who have joined between these two dates. So AND condition example is over. Now let's take example of OR condition. Suppose we want list of employees who are working in admin department, or a list of employees who are drawing salary of 60,000, exact 60,000. So how we do? Is equal to filter, tab, array. We want all the details, so I am selecting this entire database, comma, and in include I will open parenthesis once again, and the first condition is this department equaling admin, and I am completing parenthesis. And now because it's an OR condition, I am using plus sign here, and again opening parenthesis, and where the salary is equal to 60,000. So either of these two conditions have to be satisfied to perform that OR condition. So I am completing parenthesis for the second condition, and I am completing parenthesis for filter and enter. So this is how OR condition work. So for OR you have to use plus sign, and for AND condition you have to use multiplication sign. Now friends, so far as this AND and OR condition is concerned, I have explained this logic in my videos on some product. Okay, so those of you who want to understand this trues and false logic, you can simply watch my video on some product. There I have explained it at a length, right? So this example is over, AND and OR. Now the flip side about this filter function is it cannot take care of wildcards. Okay, so let's take example of wildcard. I am simply right now deleting this. Now in this employee name, I have purposefully given this name of A, and then here is A, which is between these two x's, then A at the end and A at the beginning, and we want to list out these 4 occurrences where the employee name contains A. And because the filter function cannot take care of wildcards, I am going to start with search, find text into inverted comma A, and within text, which is this, I will complete parenthesis, enter. So these are the number of instances, that is, this is the first, second, third and fourth. These are the 4 instances where the name contains A. Okay, now we all are aware that the result of this search is a whole number, so we'll use this to our advantage, and I am pressing F2, and now I am prefixing this with is number. So is number, tab, and I will complete parenthesis for is number as well, and enter. So now it is giving us trues and false, and that's what we want. And now we will simply wrap this with filter. My array is going to be this entire database, and my include argument is taken care by the combination of is number and search. So I am coming to end of this function, completing parenthesis and enter. So this is how you can, instead of using wildcard, you can use certain function or functions in Excel, the result of which is trues and false. Okay, so this is the example of wildcards. Now the last example I want to share is how about non-adjacent columns. Now for example, in from this particular database, if you want to take out employee name and the employees who are drawing salary of more than say 2 lakh rupees. So now these 2 columns, which is employee name and salary, they are not side by side, isn't it? So how we can go about this? So I am deleting this. So this is example on non-adjacent data. We want employee name and salary for those who are drawing salary of more than 2 lakh rupees, right? So I am starting with now first approach I am going to use is choose, and this choose will take care of array inside filter. So my first index number, I'll say 1 and 2 in curly brackets. Now this 1 is basically my name column, comma, and this second index number, which is 2, it is for the salary, right? I am completing parenthesis and pressing enter right now. Okay, so this is a list of employee name and salary. Don't worry, this join date, it is because it's a date format. I can simply press Ctrl Shift and 1 to convert it into numbers. So now that we are having array for the purpose of filter, we'll simply wrap this in filter, inside filter tab. The array is taken care by this choose function, and my include argument will be how many of you are greater than 2 lakh. And complete parenthesis, enter. So these are the number of employees who are drawing salary of more than 2 lakh rupees, and you can see this employee name and join date, they are not side by side, but because we have used this choose function, we are able to filter out those employees. This is the first approach. In second approach, what you can do is you can simply first take out the employees who are drawing more than 2 lakh salary. So filter tab, my array will be this entire array. Let's take this entire array, okay, entire database, and comma in filter, sorry, in include, I'll say salary greater than 2 lakh. I'll complete parenthesis, enter. So these are all the employees who are drawing salary of more than 2 lakh. Please joining date, I can just press it Ctrl Shift and 3, okay. And now the in second approach, because we want only employee name and salary, I am going to wrap this filter by one more filter. So is equal to again filter, array is taken care by this filter, and now because we want only employees who are drawing more than 2 lakh, okay, what I will do is for this include argument, I will include only these two columns, that is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So first column and last column, and we'll define these in the curly bracket and in terms of trues and false. So we want this first column, so I am giving 1, second and third we don't want, so 0, 0, and last column we want, so again 1. I'll close curly brackets and I'll close the parenthesis for this filter as well and enter. So here it is. So you are having a list of employees who are drawing more than 2 lakh salary, and again Ctrl Shift 1 to convert them into numbers, okay. So this is a non-adjacent data, right? So now let's see how we can do again non-adjacent, and we want only a list of these employees who are working in finance and accounts, and whose date of joining is, or rather whose names are in finance. So I'll again come to this one, and instead of I'll delete this, and only finance and accounts and employee name. So is equal to filter. Now I am showing you the third one, right? Filter, I want this entire data, and in include argument I'll say how many of you are equal to F and A, okay. And we want only their names and this department. So basically we want this first column and third column. So here I am going to use one more function in this Office 365, which is column, choose by column. So see, choose by column, Okay, and because we want first and third, I am simply giving 1 comma 3. I will complete parenthesis and enter. Okay, so here we have list of employees who are working in finance and accounts. So friends, this is how I have shown you 7 examples of filter, and those are array with 1 column, second is array with all columns, third is array with partial data, then fourth and fifth were and or argument, then sixth was wildcards, and seventh example was non-adjacent data. So this is how you can use this amazing function of filter. And let's now come to this third sheet. What are the things to be remembered when you are using this filter? When array is concerned, the array cannot be blank, right? Array simply cannot be blank, otherwise filter function won't work. And second thing about array is array can be a single column, as I said, or a continuous columns, or all columns, or non-adjacent columns, or even a partial data. These are the things to be remembered when you are selecting array. Now this include argument is basically heart and soul of a filter function. So for so far as this include is concerned, these are the 5 points that you have to remember. One is to use is equal to, greater than, or a less than, or not equal to generate trues and false. Second is while working with AND conditions, use asterisk or a multiplication sign. While working with OR condition, one has to use plus sign. Then the text in the condition is a non-case sensitive, as I have said. And last is filter cannot take care of wildcards. In such case, one can use any function or a combination of functions which can generate result in trues and false. Okay. And so far as this empty argument is concerned, it's an optional argument which can be kept blank, or in this argument it's an open argument, and one can specify anything, text, whole number, or formula. Now let me just see a small example of this also. So say for example, we want to list out employees who are in the PR department. Now PR department is not there, right? So is equal to filter tab, my array is only this employee name, I just want employee name, and include, where I will say how many of you are equal to into inverted commas PR, comma complete, enter. So it's giving a cal error. So because that PR department is not there, so we'll use this if empty, and in this if empty I'll write not in list, comma complete, and enter. So here it is. Okay, so whenever your filter is not fetching any values, then you can use this particular if empty argument. Okay, so friends, this brings me to end of this video. Now I am leaving a link to download this Excel file which you can practice upon. So thanks a lot for all your views and likes. Do consider subscribing to my channel and hit that bell icon to get future update. Take care. Bye bye.